The 21st question, that is number 21. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that is UDHR, is based on the resolution of A. Human Rights Watch, B. United Nations Organization. Organization. 22 question. The 22nd question. Conflicts are better resolved in the society through tribunals. That's talking about news in documentation form. B. Litigations. C. Dialogue. And D. The courts. Of course, we know the best way to resolve a conflict is to discuss the conflict amongst each other, and the answer will be what? Dialogue. The number 23rd question. To prevent the spread of HIV/AIDS, people should be encouraged to do the following. What should they do? A. Avoid casual sexual activities. B. Marry very early in life. Because that would not be the answer. C. Engage in gainful employment. Of course, if you are engaging in gainful employment, that will not lead to HIV/AIDS infection. D. Pursue higher education. If you pursue higher education, it will make you, more equipped, highly equipped to serve your nation and the world at large better. And so our answer will be what? Avoid sexual activity. Because one way AIDS can be transmitted, or HIV, it's through sexual activity. So the answer is A. Let's go to the 24th question. I know you are enjoying yourself. You are learning a lot. And I know this is preparing you for forthcoming exams. The nearest government to the people and an important means of promoting grassroots development is the following: the state government. Would that be the answer? Of course, no. Why? The state government is the arm of government that, that steers the affairs of the government at the state level. The unitary government, the local government, and the federal government. We know the answer will be what? The local government, because they are the ones that, execute, implement laws at the local level, which is the grassroots level. Let's go to the 25th question. Democratic governance is usually characterized by A. Take note of the word democracy, giving people the right and the opportunity to air their opinions, their views. All right, and they are given also the permission, to make decisions based on their own views, their own understanding of the government. So we have democratic governance is usually characterized by one. From my definition I just gave you, already know the answer. Our answer will be what? A. Free, fair, and credible election. The 26th question. Political apathy often leads to what? Low level of participation. B. Good governance. C. Political stability. D. Low literacy level. Would B be the answer? Of course no. Good governance. C. Political stability. Of course no. D. Low literacy level. Of course that will not be the answer. The answer is A. Why is the answer A? Because political apathy talks about showing lack of interest in political activities, and therefore that will be our answer. Number 27. Which of the following is not necessary for public servants to perform effectively? Which of the following is not necessary for public servants to perform effectively? Which of the following is not necessary for public servants to perform effectively? In-service training, appointment based on nepotism. C. Value reorientation of public servants. D. Incentives for meeting set goals. Of course, we already know the answer will be what? Appointment based on nepotism. Let's go to our 28th question. Number 28. What of the following factors can limit the enjoyment of human rights? Take note of the word limits. Limits.
Get the cheapest science materials from allschoollabs.com.
Limits. Limit. Factors can limit the enjoyment of human rights in Nigeria is the following. A. Acceptance of foreign aid by the government. Of course, we know this will help promote the fundamental human rights of citizens in Nigeria. B. Improvement in literacy rates of citizens. That will also help to cause the citizens of that country to enjoy their rights. We have C. Declaration of state of emergency by government. Would that be the answer? Let's see. And D. Periodic review of constitution by the government. Periodic review of this constitution by the government. That will not limit the human rights. We already know the answer. Declaration of state of emergency by the government, because there will be no movement. And so citizens of that country cannot exercise some of their human rights, like right to movement, right to learn for that period of time. That is going to class, if they have to go to class, even right to go to work. For those who their work is not at home, they have to go to the office. So the answer will be declaration of state of emergency by government. I know you are really enjoying yourself and you are learning a lot. Let's continue. 29. Now here's a diagram of a mother and a child, and you can see a man lying down. He's drunk, and that's their father. And so here's the question. The drunkard, as depicted, as shown in this diagram, in this picture, will not likely perform his parental role because of the following. Why will he be sleeping on the floor? Look at where he's even sleeping, on the road. His action constitutes bad influence. B. Rehabilitation facilities are not available. Drinking problem is associated with the poor. That's not true. Wealthy people also drink. They take alcohol and they get drunk to stupor. He has a large family to cater for. Of course, that was not the reason why he will lie down the road. Some people do that. But that was not the reason. Why? There are other people who have large family to cater for, and they are doing well because they are taking responsibility. Of course, we know the answer will be A. His action constitutes bad influence. The number 30 question. Number 30. The above picture portrays drunkenness mainly as what? A. An individual habit in the society. Of course, no. We have different kinds of habits. So we can't say that. B. A potential health hazard. Of course, no. C. A challenge to responsible parenting. Ooh. I guess you already know the answer, right? The answer would be C. A challenge to responsible parenting, because someone who gets drunk all the time will not be able to coordinate himself, and he cannot really take responsibility, and therefore he cannot raise his children well and also take care of his family. I'm so sure that you are really learning a lot, and I know that with this, man, you are set and you are equipped to do well in your civic examination. Number 31 question. The 31 question here we have: the implication of positive communal relationship is that A. It promotes solidarity, or we can say unity and love. B. Ensures obedience and to constituted authority. C. Encourages ethnic diversities. And D. Promotes rural-urban drifts. The implication of positive, look at the statement, not negative, positive. Positive communion, that's talking about community. Relationship is that it promotes unity and love. So I'll answer the word A. I can really tell you're feeling right now, you're happy, man. I'm getting the answers. Alright. 32 question. Number 32. One major factor that attracts some Nigerians into human trafficking is what? Overpopulation related issues. Of course, that will not be. In China, they are overpopulated. They have so many citizens in that country and human beings, and they are doing well. B. Influx of foreigners into the country. Could that be? Let's see. C. Insatiable quest for quick wealth. D. Influence of Western and social media. Of course, influence of Western and social media cannot be the reason why one major factor that attracts some Nigerians into trafficking, human trafficking. That will not be the answer. What will be the answer? Our answer will be what? C. Insatiable what? Quest for quick wealth. That is the answer. Number 33. One of the following reasons most HIV/AIDS patients are reluctant to disclose. The word disclose means to reveal their status is because of the following.
Run quick tests and analysis. Visit analysis.africa.
Let's look at which one will be the answer. A. The incurable nature of the illness. Would that be? Of course, no. B. Fear of social stigmatization. C. Lack of sufficient public awareness. And D. Shortage of health counselors. The answer will be what? B. Fear of social stigmatization, meaning that people will be seeing them everywhere. This one is an HIV/AIDS victim. Oh, look at this person, and that will make them not want to disclose their situation. All right, our 31st question. The WAEC court has ordered the police in Area Z command to produce Mr. Z, who is in police custody for an alleged offense. The court insists that Mr. Z cannot be punished until he is found guilty of breach of any law of the land by a court of competent jurisdiction. The position of the court on this matter justifies the essence of the dash. A. Rule of law. Would that be the answer? Let's see. B. Legislature. Would that be the answer? Let's see. C. Police command. Would that be the answer? Let's see. And D. Separation of powers. Would that be the answer? Oh, you get to see the answer right now. B will not be the answer. C will not be the answer. D will not be the answer. The answer is A. Why? Rule of law. Rule of law states that except one is found guilty, is considered innocent. Except one is found guilty, is considered innocent of any crime. Number 35. Leaders can best protect the interest of their followers by the following: embarking on periodic constitutional review. No. B. Creating socio-economic opportunities for foreigners. No. C. Creating conducive atmosphere for participation. Would that be the answer? Let's see. And D. We have rewarding support with contracts. Of course, we know our answer will be what? Creating a conducive environment for their followers to participate. And as they do, they will get to learn more. So our answer is what? C. Number 36 question, the most popular means through which citizens of a country can participate in politics is by A. Being members of a political parties. Being members of political parties, rather. Let me read the question again. The most popular means through which citizens of a country can participate in politics is by A. Being members of a political party or political parties. B. Engaging in constructive criticism. C. Engaging in political debates. And D. Voting in election. If you look at the question very well, you notice that it talks about participation in politics, and that the answer will be what? Voting in election, because through election, someone or a citizen who is eligible for voting can go and vote his desires, his goals, by participating in voting election, or by participating in what? In an election. And so voting in election will be the answer. Oh, we are almost coming to the end of this question session. Number 37, we have civil society are vital for promotion of popular participation because they are what? Profit-oriented organizations. B. Engage in development programs. C. Involving in political education. D. Formidable opposition to government. Civil society are vital for the promotion of popular participation on because they are what? Involving in what? Political education. They help to teach people about political activities and so on and so forth. All right, we have the 38th question here. Here is a diagram. You can see the diagram. Candidates are engaging in an examination. Misconduct, you can see it here. Candidates are engaging what? You can see candidates engaging what? In examination misconduct. Look at it very closely. You can draw it closer to you and you see it closely. Now, which of the following statements may be true about the behavior of candidates in the diagram? A. The candidates are doing what is ethical. Is it true? Is examination malpractice ethical? No. So the answer will not be A. Candidates involved in malpractice should be banned for life? No. C. Their actions can also affect innocent candidates. D. There was nobody to copy from. Of course, if you look at it, they were engaging in misconduct in the examination hall, so the answer will be what? Their actions can also affect innocent candidates. And this happens most times where you notice that at the end of the day, that paper will be withheld by the examination board. Number 39. Based on the above diagram, the candidates would not have cheated. Look at the diagram very closely. Look at him looking at the back. See the candidate looking at the back. Based on the above diagram, the candidates would not have cheated if A. They were well spaced.
400,000 cheap medicines, cosmetics, and analytical supplies. Everything in one big place. allschoollabs.com.
They were well spaced. Look at it. They were well spaced. B. There was an invigilator. Of course, if there's no exam that you don't have an invigilator. C. They were hardworking. And D. There was nobody to copy from. The answer is C. Because when you prepare very well for an exam, there will be no need for you to cheat in the exam. There will be no need for you to copy someone in an exam. There will be no need for that. So the answer will be what? If they were hard working. And the last question for today, which is the 40th question. In which year did the United Nations General Assembly adopt the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? 1945. A. Would that be the correct answer? Of course, no. B. 1946. Would that be the answer? Of course, no. C. 1947. Would that be the answer? Of course, no. And the answer is D. Why is it D? It was adopted December 10th, 1948. I believe you've learned a lot. I believe you have been informed. I believe you have been equipped. And I'm so sure that with these 40 questions that we have looked at, I know that you are getting set to score at least A in your forthcoming WAEC exam. All right. My name is Simeon once again. And I know you have really enjoyed today's class. See you in our next class. Have a nice day.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the video you just watched. To see more content as that, preparing you for your upcoming exam, make sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on notification. Also, remember that you can use the comment section to send us your questions or your inquiries, and we are happy to take them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.